Hello, and welcome back to our third devlog in the series. This is our fourth week into the project, so we have around 8 weeks left. Over the past week, I've been working on a weapon system. This has been a big challenge as it needs to sync across the network. This includes shooting, weapon swapping, and weapon pickups. As well as this, I have made it really easy to configure new guns and items as well as player data using scriptable objects. However, my main focus this week was on hitboxes. Doing this allows me to change weapon damages depending on the body part that is hit. Because this game is multiplayer, I have been struggling to send the data across the server to everyone playing. We have run into multiple glitches with the current damage system, and over the next week I will be focusing on ironing these bugs out.
This week has largely been the same as last week in terms of what I've created. I've made two more weapons, including an AWP sniper rifle and a submachine gun based on the Smith & Wesson M76. My SMG is still missing some details in the texture that I'll be adding later on, but it looks good for the time being. I managed to optimise the SMG very well, so it only has 484 triangles, which is ideal for the size of the gun. The AWP has a more detailed mesh than most guns, but I still managed to keep it down to just over 600 triangles, which I'm very happy with. I also tried to keep as many details as possible in the texture, and it turned out very nicely. Now I've created an AK, shotgun and sniper, it allows Dan to start work on the three main different firing mechanics. The shotgun has single shot pellets that scatter and deal high damage at close range. The AK is much more rapid fire and deals the most damage over medium range, and the sniper is a single shot weapon that deals damage precisely over long range. These weapons will all be calculated differently, so having all three will be useful for Dan's work. I also started work on a new level. It's currently very small as we won't have any large playtesting sessions for a little while yet, but it fixes a lot of the issues my last level had. The corridors and enclosed spaces have much higher ceilings to generally avoid the player bumping their head. The rooms are all wide and open, and since the level is partially outside, the player feels much less cramped. There are still some issues, including the underground bunker only having one entrance and exit point, and the lack of different building types, which will be fixed as I add more to the level. I also designed this level with bounce pads in mind, as we hope to add them in certain areas, which is why the level is awkward in some places. I'll be tweaking and finalising this level over the next week, as well as working on more weapons to add to the multiplayer. I also want to start work on the single player story mode, so I'll be getting started on that within the next couple weeks.
Hey, I'm Oscar. I will be creating the music to this game. For my first week, I wanted to get a better idea of what genre of music to create. To do this, I made a range of short concepts that would be able to pinpoint the exact genre the soundtrack will end up as. The results ended up as a rock theme, with added orchestral parts as they are needed. This has allowed me to start working on the music that will end up as the final product. I have and will continue to use Logic Pro to do this, as it is industry standard and what I use at college. Over the coming weeks, I will start by making the menu music to the game, which can be used for further experimentation into the exact style of music.
This week has been fairly slow in terms of development, but we'll be picking up the pace over the coming weeks as there is still a huge amount to get done. Thank you for watching this week's devlog, as we appreciate everyone who makes it through these videos, so if you'd like to give us any feedback, please leave us a comment below and share your thoughts. Our social media will also be linked in the description if you'd like to learn more about our team.